welcome to another episode of the Singleton Experience, and we are in the divisional round of the playoffs. So I had to come to you guys and give you a special segment, man. This one's been on my heart. I had the opportunity to have my brother here with me last week. We tried to get some filming done, man, but we had some technical difficulties, so sorry I couldn't get that episode out to you guys. But thank you for staying with me. Thank you for following me. I have an actual YouTube channel, so go on my YouTube channel, check that out. Corey Singleton, just my name, Corey Singleton. I will title it the Singleton Experience later, and that way you can go in there, subscribe, and that way you get notification right when I drop these videos. This is the Singleton Experience, my experience of football, the game I love so much, as you guys often hear me say. So we are in the divisional round of the playoffs, man. This is the time of the year I've been waiting for. Couldn't wait to get here because you're that much closer. I mean, you got to think, just next week, we'll be in what you call Championship Sunday, man. We'll be playing to see exactly who will go to the Super Bowl. So we got some very, very intriguing matchups this week, and I'm going to go ahead on and start with the AFC. Everybody knows, you see me in my sayings again, I like to finish off in the NFC, but I'm going to start with the AFC. Chiefs and Browns, man, they look to take on each other this week. Chiefs coming off of that bye, it was the number 1 seed, so of course they had rest last week. What do you get with that rest? Do you get some of those athletes back healthy? Do it knock you out of your rhythm? We will see this week. You have the Browns who's playing inspired, emotional football, and you gotta love exactly what they're able to do. I mean, you watched them last week come out and punch Pittsburgh right in the mouth in the beginning of the game and jumped up 14 points quick, escalated that to 17 points, and then they just kept going on and on. And great game there. But now they're facing the number 1 seed. Who do you have in that one? I tell you who I have. I'm going to go with that emotional, inspired football, and I'm going to pick your Browns to come up 20-13 over the Chiefs. Yeah, I said it. Most people say, hey, Cole, man, that's because you still have that chip on your shoulder with the Chiefs. I do. You know, last year, still hurts. I don't think I'm ever going to get over that one. Maybe next year we'll let it go all the way once they lose to the Browns this week. So there you have it, man. I'm actually calling that game. Browns win 20-13. I don't see it happening any other way. So now, with that being said, you have the Browns who have that opportunity to play in the AFC Championship game. So another game you have going on, obviously, in that AFC is the Bills and the Ravens. Kudos to Lamar Jackson on last week. He did some things, he answered some questions. I mean, I'm pretty sure for himself and mainly his critics. We know how football goes. They built up the story last week. Could he win a playoff game? You know, I'm like, man, God, this early in his career, man. I could just remember when, you know, Steve Young, could he do it? Could he win a big game? You know, could he get accomplished? They always create that narrative. And it's ironic. They wanted to know, could Lamar Jackson win a game? You know, he came in and they showed you exactly he could. They have the opportunity of playing the Buffalo Bills. The Bills is my team that I have coming out that AFC representing in the Super Bowl for the AFC. So I don't think the Ravens actually come away with this victory. I have the Bills winning this one. Very close game, fought game, 31-24. The Bills have showed you they have the capability of scoring numerous amount of points so quickly. I think this year they led the league with the highest score, which was 56. I think they did that twice. They topped it twice. They actually scored 56 points in a game twice. So they have the power there to score, and then also they have the defense there to stop you. Now, could they create a situation where they actually make Lamar Jackson one-dimensional and make him say, hey, you're going to have to beat us. I want you to throw the ball. I want you to, you know, hand it off. Lamar ain't going to let him run, but could you beat us? I'll make you beat us. You have to be that guy to beat us. So in that game, I look forward to seeing them spying them. I look forward to actually Josh Norman stepping up big and coming away with an interception. So I'm going to predict that. So like I said, I got the Bills winning that one 31-24. So that leaves us to what I will believe will be the AFC Championship game. The Buffalo Bills versus the Cleveland Browns. I want you to stop for a second and think about that. Did you ever think that could be even a possibility? I have some friends of mine who got it the other way around. They want to see the Chiefs and the Ravens go at it, you know. But the Browns and the Bills in the AFC Championship game, we jumping ahead of ourselves, but think about that for a second. Think about how that will play out. That's different coming out of the AFC. Very, very different. My division, of course, my conference is that NFC though, man. I love the NFC. NFC, even on TV, the games look a little bit different. They called a little bit a different way. So you have the Packers facing the Rams. And Packers are that team that's coming off of that bye. They were able to secure that number 1 seed. But like I stated, same thing in the AFC with the Chiefs. I mean, what does that do to a team? Does that, of course it allows those starters to, you know, and those guys who's injured to rejuvenate themselves, get a little bit healthy. 1 week is a lot. No bang bang, you know, 1 week is a lot in the NFL. So it allows that to transpire. But for me, it's like it almost knocks you out of rhythm. You know, you can simulate whatever you want in practice, but nothing is like true game speed. Strapping up that helmet and hitting somebody in the mouth. You know, and that's what they weren't able to do none last week. So they take on the Rams. I have the Packers actually beating the Rams. I go with the Packers. Packers is going to make this one 24-10. You know, the Rams will score you 10 points. They're mussed up away. Jared Goff, of course, we know about his injured thumb, so that'll limit exactly what he could do. Although he threw the ball a little bit impressive in that last victory. But I'm going with the Packers on that one. 24-10. Leaves me to what everybody's waiting on. I know y'all waiting on it. Man, Cole, Singleton, what do you have to say about those who that said they gonna beat them Saints? Man, we are here in the divisional round, and the Saints are playing the Tampa Bay Buccaneers for the 3rd time this year. Granted, it happens a lot in sports. More than you probably recognize unless you're your team. Getting that victory, that 3rd time is a little bit difficult. Saints were able to muster it up in 2017 when they faced the Carolina Panthers 3 times that year. I mean, they beat them in the division twice. They beat them in a divisional round of the playoffs, and that was their 3rd time beating them. The Saints have the team that has the capability of doing it again. Have they shown their hand too much? Like I said, when you play in the division is very, very tough. And what I mean by that is week to week, you just never know. You never know when you're matching up in the division. The record get thrown out the window because you're playing these guys. They're familiar with you. It's a bit of chip on your shoulder just as well as there's a bit of chip on their shoulder. So this 3rd matchup is not going to dictate the 2 previous matchups. This is going to be a different type of ball game. Because I don't know if y'all notice it like I notice it, but the game speed get a little bit faster in these playoffs. Decision making get a little bit clearer. You have to make those decisions. The playoffs is about execution. Every game is in the NFL, I would say, but when you get to the playoffs, the margin of error has to be so slim. You can't have turnovers. If you do get a turnover, you have to capitalize and make points out of every situation. You have to play all 3 aspects of the game, and that's offense, defense, and special teams. So now that these playoffs are here, this is some of the things that excites me about the game. That's what you're getting to see. And when those Saints run on that field and they take on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in the New Orleans Superdome, we will see the Saints victorious. Close game, 31-27. Won't be a blowout. What I look for the Saints being able to do is run the ball, run it heavy, hand it off to Kamara, hand it off to some fresher legs. Latavius Murray, step up. Drew implemented different targets. That's what he's great at. He's capable of getting the ball to different targets. I always say before halftime, Drew's going to hit about 6 different targets for completions. So I look forward to seeing that type of football this weekend from the New Orleans Saints. That don't take anything away from the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. They have arguably one of the best quarterbacks out there to do it. and you saw what they were able to do. They were firing on all cylinders against Washington last week. So, man, this is going to be an exciting matchup. It is the divisional round of the playoffs. One of my most intriguing times of the year. I love the game of football so much, but when these playoffs hit, it hit different. It's win or go home. Just like you see me dressed up in this stuff, I can be out of it at the end and not see it again for a whole nother year. But that won't happen this year because the New Orleans Saints will defeat the Tampa Bay Buccaneers 31-27. The Packers will beat the Rams 24-10. The Bills will win 31-24 over the Ravens. And the Browns gonna actually put something on those Chiefs. 20-13. 13 points for Patrick Mahomes. They like, this guy crazy. I called it. You heard it here. This has been an opportunity of the Singleton Experience, brought to you by none other than Singleton himself. So guys, don't forget one thing. Tune in. Witness football. We're wrapping it up. In a couple weeks, I'm going to be hearing you guys talk about how bored you are on Sundays. So enjoy the games. Feel free to hit me up. Give me your input. Check out my YouTube channel, The Singleton Experience. It will be named there shortly, Corey Singleton. You'll find all my videos there. Just want to be on Facebook. I'm getting better with this, man. As you can see, I built this to chase something I love. So I thank you guys for giving me the opportunity to be heard. Listen to exactly what I have to say about the game. And once I give me a little board implemented in here where I can have my remote, we're going to be looking at some live plays. So thank you. This has been the Singleton Experience. Y'all stay tuned. Be blessed. Who that?